Okay, here's what we're doing. I think I'm going to do this video in reverse. I'm going to show the test ride and basically the end of it first. And then on my next video, I'm going to go back and go over the details as to how I actually built it or rebuilt it. This is a Resto-Mod of a 1996 Diamondback ZETEC. One of my absolute favorite rebuilds and modifications to a bicycle. I really enjoyed doing it, and it was a fun ride. So again, because of so much, admittedly, so much indecisiveness, I basically had decision paralysis when it came to what exactly I was going to do to this bicycle. If I was going to restore it to its former glory, or if I was going to make it a Resto-Mod, or really even something in between. Replace maybe the brakes or the handlebars or even the front chain wheel without going too far into it. But I've had this bicycle for about a year and I haven't been able to decide what to do. And because of that, I think that's affected the way that I've edited this film or video rather. So I'm starting with the end, and part 2 will be the build. So, all right, let's do this. Appreciate it, guys. See you in a bit. The letters that I've got, my hardtail, and my full suspension. Okay, this is a 1996 Diamondback ZETEC. It came with all of the corresponding bells and whistles that a bicycle of that era comes with when it's considered somewhat top of the line for that time. However, they were old, they were worn out, and I had a choice to do one of two things. Either completely restore it to its original glory or make it into a Resto-Mod, which I did. The tires that it came with, not only were they worn out, but they were very thin. I put some thicker tires on it, some that I had in the shop. They're not brand new, but they've got good tread, and they're very wide, certainly for this bicycle. I did convert it into a 1x8. Now it goes from this 44 tooth chainring in the front to as small as an 11 on this 8-speed cassette in the back, which gives me lots and lots of versatility. This bike is incredibly light compared to my 29ers that I've got, my hardtail, and my full suspension. The geometry is smaller. Now, I'm only a couple of inches taller than Seth, which is still pretty not tall. So it's very light and it's very maneuverable, and at least it was when I tried it in the street. I haven't taken it on the dirt yet. These pedals came off of a Specialized. These handlebars came off of a Specialized, a different one. The grips, I get those in bulk for about $2 a pair, and they are very good. They're comfort grips. They slightly move. I can adjust them while I ride, just enough so that I'm comfortable depending on what position that I'm in. The V-brakes work great. All the parts, and I'll make a list of those, the ones that I kept, and a list of the ones that I replaced. I didn't spend any more money than I did when I bought the bicycle. $50 is what I paid for it. The parts, I already had them in the parts bin. I literally bought nothing, not even the tubes. It's just stuff that I already had. So I'm gonna go enjoy this thing. All right, stick around. See you in a Okay, what happened back there was I was coming off of this small jump. Now, can't really tell how sharp the turn is, but as you land the jump, if you decide to take it as a gap jump, or if you just decide to roll over them and take the sharp turn, if you don't turn fast enough, you can potentially collide into this tree, this one and that one. Now, what happened was I tried to turn, and I'm not getting a lot of traction off of this front end, partially because the bike is so incredibly light. I'm not really used to it. I'm used to a bike that's much bigger than I am, that digs into the ground with my weight on top of it. Now I'm 5'6", but I weigh almost just under 180. And it's not fat. Go look at one of my other videos. Starting with a 28-day shred. All right, y'all get after it. Okay, so I'm finding it hard to get traction on the front end. I got plenty of tread. Maybe I don't. So the first thing I do, if I spend any money on this bike, which I had planned on not spending any money at all, honestly, is replace the tires. Everything else is fine. I've got all kinds of options back there. I can climb, or I can get on the road and go irritate the roadies, which around here, that's kind of fun sometimes. I'll hit y'all back. Okay. That was fun. The bike performed rather well. It's super light for what it is. I can see why it was considered fairly top of the line for the year that it was manufactured during that particular era. Now, like I said, I did replace some of the parts with some more modern parts. And by modern parts, I don't mean within the past 5 years. I mean the parts that were in my parts bin that got replaced, or that were replaced off of another build that I had. So they were already older parts. They were just lesser than the ones that I had planned on putting on a different project. But they worked just fine for this one. Very well. Now let's go into the geometry of the bike a little bit so I can explain to you the difference between this bike and a modern mountain bike, or at least the ones that I personally ride. All right, here we go. Now, like I said, I had the opportunity or the option to restore it to its original glory, but I decided against it because I wanted something that I could actually ride on the trails that I'm used to riding. Now, the ones around here aren't too particularly gnarly. They're more of a XC type of track. A lot of very flowy single track. You know, mostly just exploring through the woods like I've always done, and I really enjoy it. When you go through here, you see people fishing. You know, you see people riding. They just built this paved area right through the woods, my favorite area of the woods, for the roadies. And they seem to be enjoying it very much so. Okay, so back to the ZETEC, complete with all of the bells and whistles that were worthy of keeping from that time period, such as the derailleur, the front crankset, and certainly the Manitou MACH 5. Very interesting fork. When I took it apart and looked at it, I really didn't know what I was getting myself into because I hadn't worked on a fork like that before, but it is a bicycle, and it does have wheels, and it does have what a bicycle normally has in order to run correctly. Although this one wasn't, I did bring it up to speed, and today was the day to take it for a test run. I did put some modern parts on it, specialized pedals, 1x8, although I did keep the front chain ring because I wanted that extra speed for the road. But you get out into the road, you got to keep up with the roadies at least for a bit until you get to the other side. All right. And today was a very good day to test the Diamondback ZETEC. Now I kept the Manitou MACH 5. I put an 8-speed cassette in the back with the same derailleur. The front chain ring is the same. Lots of options back here. The free brakes work brilliantly. It shifts incredibly well. I got the drivetrain, or rather the cassette, off of the Mongoose Ledge 2 because it wasn't working well on that bicycle, but on this one it works brilliantly. Right, handlebars off Specialized, including the stem. And yeah, today was a great day. Guys, thank you all so much for hanging out with me. I really appreciate it. Thanks for allowing me to do what I do. I'm having so much fun. It's your boy X from Katy, Texas. Good times are afoot. The Diamondback ZETEC 1996 test run and rebuild, and somewhat of a Resto-Mod. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Thanks for hanging out with me, all right? See you next time. Peace.
Right around.